Well, hello and welcome back to Growing Through the Vents. This is Anitra and we are on episode 9. But let's pause. Let's talk about it for a second because episode 8 was a lot to process, at least for some. And honestly, it was a lot for me to process through it. Listening back, I can hear it too. I am not pleased with how negative I sound and just like how negative I was feeling. It was not cute from my own perspective. Now I understand that people are going to feel how they're going to feel. And I was a person that was going to feel how I was going to feel in those moments because I just wasn't feeling good. And there was nothing that I could really do to make me feel better. And I'm not saying that I feel great or that I even feel a whole lot better, but I didn't like the mental space I was in. Whereas I'm happy with the mental space I'm in now. It took me a little work, like mental work, to get back to this point. It was a journey because I was going against my body and then fighting against my emotions, but really had to be logical. And I, as you guys know, fall fully back into my faith whenever I'm feeling any kind of ugh. But thankfully, the biopsy came back clear, so I don't have to worry about another surgery right now. I'm not necessarily in the clear. They're not letting me be in the clear until December, or the end of December, the new year, really, 2025. So yeah, but I'm not worried, and I'm trying to figure out how to adjust. Some days are better than others, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, so that was a lot, but things are looking up and I am feeling better, and I'm most definitely counting my blessings more than I was when I recorded episode 8. For me, the last month or so has been a reflection or a reminder to me of who I am and what I'm capable of. I told you guys I was drifting off too deep in that garden on the previous level that I didn't know which direction to go once I got back to the path. And I feel like this has been a part of the reminder. I needed to keep going in the direction that I'm intended to. And there's more purpose than I was allowing myself to see or feel. The funny thing is, the same day I was telling my friend that I'm tired of feeling sorry for myself, I was asked where I felt the most resilient within myself. And truthfully, I wasn't feeling super resilient. I mean, hopefully, obviously, I wouldn't let sickness or illness come out on top of any battle. But in the areas that make me have a sense of fulfillment or bring me joy, I stumbled when it came to answering that question, and then had to have a talk with myself because I wasn't really happy with me or with anything that I was doing because I was just doing the minimum, really. And I know the question was intended to make me feel more self-aware and not bad, but sometimes looking in the mirror and seeing your flaws makes you kind of feel some type of way, you know? It's like I'm Puerto Rican, so sometimes these dark circles don't like to be my friend. And so seeing them can make me feel you know? No, I'm not ashamed of them, and I don't necessarily hide them, and I'm not ashamed of the fact that I wasn't necessarily pursuing growth because I am more self-aware of them now. So I can make that change and make that adjustment. It's just going to take time, and it's going to take work for it to be seen. It's kind of like working out, but internally, you know? Usually it's either you or somebody else that's going to see it first, but then like after consistency, everybody's going to see it, including yourself if you haven't yet. So allow yourself to put the work in without it being recognized right away. And sometimes that's hard because where I've made the adjustments aren't necessarily where everybody else would want to see them yet. And I can see the adjustments. I feel it. I know the difference. I feel a lot better within myself. But I have people coming at me like, but Anitra, what about this? And Anitra, what about that? And Anitra, where are you? And I'm like, well, guys, I promise I'm getting to it. I promise I'm getting to it. It's just like I'm figuring out this balance and I'm trying to get to this new level, but making sure that it's the level that I need to be on, that I'm supposed to be on, and that's aligned with my purpose. And that's ultimately like what my plans and goals are. At least I try to make them all that. If you even look at me career-wise, as far as in school for marketing, the business that my family has is a marketing business. And then as a retail general manager, like, they all kind of have to do with that, right? So just allowing yourself that grace and understanding that growth happens and growth is there, but sometimes it takes time. So just do the work. It's going to be okay. And I mean, ultimately, I know the conversation, like I said, wasn't to make me feel bad. It was to make me more self-aware. But it's kind of what motivated me the most, right? That's what brought up this conversation. You got to be able to have those conversations and got to have people in your life that can have those conversations with you. And that's what these conversations are all about with growing through the vents, because it takes hard conversations in order for growth sometimes. And hard conversations are not always fun to have. So if you have people in your life that are willing to have those conversations with you, understand that it's a blessing nonetheless. So at that moment, I decided that I was done being just tired. I'm going to be tired regardless, but still dedicated. Tired, but productive. And like no longer going to be so negative, because I roll. That's so annoying to me. Like when I'm negative, I understand other people's negativity sometimes. I don't like that within myself. It does not make me feel good. And what's in my control is in my control. So take better control. So I did. And like I said, I feel a lot better, more purposeful and striding more gracefully. I feel like I've been more dedicated, not just at work, but with school and with the family business, and just trying to make sure that I stay in order with those things, along with like, everyday life things. But I know that there's still areas I need to work on. And I know that I need to be more consistent with some things, including the podcast. I want to be more consistent with you guys. This is honestly what I love to do the most. But I don't know. I'm not going to give myself an excuse. Sometimes I let the nerves get the best of me. And sometimes, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to give an excuse. And I feel like anything that I say is just going to make it sound like an excuse when I could just be doing it. I just need to be better with time management more than anything, and pushing through some of my fears and anxieties, because ultimately my innate state of like who I am is a shy, anxious girl. Like that's what I've always been, is a shy, anxious girl. And it's taken me a lot of work to push out of that. I am truly like an introvert at heart, but I do push myself out of that because I enjoy making other people feel good. And I enjoy having conversations with people, and I'm like good at it, you know? That's why I'm a general manager in retail, because customer service just kind of came naturally, but it wasn't really natural because I really had to push that part out of me. And I guess that's where I've been the most resilient with who I am, because truthfully, like that's a lot of work sometimes. Coming onto the microphone is a lot of work sometimes. And the next step to my podcast is I want to have people on it, because I feel like we put ourselves in such a box that, and like I said, I was just in a box. So I say this from like a personal place too. I feel like we put ourselves in such a box, and hearing other people's testimonies and how other people continue to grow, and even just what people have been able to get through in their lives, is inspiring and motivational, but also allows us to see new perspectives and allows us to, I don't know, broaden our horizons, I guess you could say. And so that's the next step. But sometimes getting on the microphone with just me by myself is a little intimidating. So let alone like adding somebody on, it kind of brings up some nerves I didn't realize I had when it came to this. And I don't know if I've said this before, but my brother is an engineer. I probably have. He has a whole studio. I could be recording these in the booth, but that seems intimidating. So I really need to push myself out of like this comfort zone that I am in when it comes to just recording by myself in my lonesome and be uncomfortable with adding somebody on. I mean, that's going to take me having to get another microphone too, which I can do. I'll do it. But it's just like part of the steps, you know? Like it's a part of pushing myself and being resilient in that way. And I think that's the part that's intimidating me the most with this podcast, at least. And it's crazy because like for many of my jobs, including my current ones, I've had to interview a lot of people. I've had to talk to a lot of people, and like hundreds at this point. But I'm so passionate about the podcast, and I don't know, it's kind of like an expectation that I'm trying not to have, because expectations are just goals that you have for like, I mean, I can have expectations with myself, but like with other people on my podcast, you know? And I'm not trying to put any pressure on anybody that like will be on the podcast in the future. Absolutely not. But I want it to be fun and organic, and I feel like I'm going to be awkward, and I don't want to be awkward. So yeah, I'm working on it. We'll get there. In the meantime, though, I will say that this is so much fun, and I enjoy this, and I appreciate everybody that listens and all of the growth, and even just seeing the different states pop up in the analytics. Like, that's so cool to me. I know that I have like my cousins and friends that listen in, but like having more people that listen in has been super inspiring, a little intimidating, but I also love it and enjoy it. And those are the discomforts that I really do like. Like, that's why I have grown so much in retail, because like I've had to be that associate that didn't ring anybody up for like my first year in retail, because I was just too shy and would not bring up a credit card for the life of me. Like, there was no way. Like, confronting anybody about anything, absolutely not. But like now I can just do it with such ease, and I am so grateful for that. And so like now I need to utilize that in this world of mine. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for like walking me through that without having to necessarily walk me through that. We just walked through that together. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off for this episode. I'm going to leave you guys with the flower a dandelion. Because they're resilient. They are resilient because they can literally grow through anything. Was it a dandelion or a daffodil? I'm pretty sure it was a dandelion. Yes. Because dandelions symbolize resilience, healing, and emotional fortitude. They thrive in adverse conditions. They can grow through the cracks of a sidewalk. They can grow through your backyards, a forest. It doesn't matter. They're going to be there. And honestly, they're overlooked so often. People often consider them weeds, but the benefits of dandelions, if you guys were to look into that, there's so many health benefits. There's so many just benefits to them. And that yellow color, how could you not find such joy in that? Anyways, y'all have a good night. We'll talk soon. Episode 10 will be up soon. We'll figure it out. And hopefully maybe somebody will be on it. Either 10 or 11. 11's a lucky number for me. Always has been. Shout out to my grandpa. But yeah, so y'all have a good night. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.